My name is Ken Freeman, and this is the Monday Minute. According to a recent AP release, a Danish study says abortion is not a mental health risk, that in fact giving birth is tied to seeking help. According to Alicia Chang's press release to the Associated Press in LA, another study has been released. And they say having an abortion does not increase the risk of mental health problems, but instead having a baby does, according to this large study that compared the aftermath of both decisions. Now, the research by the Danish scientist allegedly debunks the notion that terminating the pregnancy would trigger mental illness, but it shows postpartum depression to be much more of a factor. Now, abortion in Denmark has been legal since 1973, the same year that we legalized abortion here in America. Now, notice the dramatic, sweeping statement that was used in the title and in the first paragraph that just lambasts giving birth and makes abortion look like nothing more than pulling teeth. Well, let's look at the facts, because you see, when we look at the facts, we will see that this is an outright lie. But hey, lying by the abortion crowd is nothing new. Just recently, Planned Parenthood President Cecile Richards appeared on CNN's Headline News channel claiming that defunding Planned Parenthood would prevent it from providing women with mammogram services. Well, by the way, Brent Bozell looked at that and said this has been proven absolutely false. A group called Live Action has released an audio investigation with proof from numerous Planned Parenthood clinics where staff clearly state they do not provide mammograms. Yet the president of the organization went on national TV and stated the exact opposite as a bold-faced lie. You can learn more about that by visiting Brent's website. But I say that to say this: the same principle is at work with this study. Let's now look at the facts. The Danish study covered 365,550 teenagers and women who had had an abortion or a first-time delivery between 1995 and 2007. Now, on the surface, that sounds credible, don't you think? My goodness, 365,000 individuals taking a study over a 12-year period, thousands of teens and women. It sounds viable, but if we look at the numbers, we discover that 84,620 abortions were found, compared to nearly 3.5 times that number, or 280,930 births. Now, through various national registries, the researchers were able to track mental health counseling before and after an abortion or delivery. And during the period, they saw these numbers, the 84,000 abortions and the 280,000 births. Notice again that the researchers compared these two events, abortion and birth, to reach their final conclusion that abortion does not impact a woman's mental health. However, it is startling to me that the abortion movement overlooked this fact, that the study period was tracked from 9 months to 1 year after the abortion. And in that study period, they showed that 15 out of 1,000 needed psychiatric counseling for abortion, compared to 7 out of 1,000 first-time births. But only 4 out of 1,000 sought help before birth, compared to 15% before the abortion. Well, frankly, if you were to look at my own data of 3,500 women who have completed our online voluntarily taken after abortion survey, it shows that, again, 10% needed psychiatric care, but 50% suffered psychological symptoms that read just like the symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. Another startling missing element is that these researchers did not follow the women over the entire 12-year period, because had they tested women during the entire period and gathered facts for every year, I guarantee they would have had a dramatic shift toward higher incidence of emotional hurts after abortion. Now, if the criteria of the data had been looking for psychological risk versus true psychiatric risks, I contend the numbers would have gone through the roof that are not mentioned in the opening statement of this press release. abortion's impact are more than 2 times higher than women giving birth. This should have been shown as dramatically higher or significantly higher instead of saying that birth was the one that was higher. Now, the other fact is that whenever we look at the teens and the women, they have been part of a community who have been in a nation that has been pushing legal abortion since 1973. So there's been this full generation who have been raised with abortion and who have seen abortion as nothing more than pulling a tooth because of the godless culture that exists in Sweden. No wonder they chose Sweden. But in conclusion, we see yet a third reason why this study is so skewed in favor of abortion, despite its actual findings. The study was paid for by a Danish research group, the Susan Thompson Buffett Foundation, which just so happens to be an abortion activist foundation. It is clear that they did not want to focus on the 2 to 3 times greater hurts caused by abortion than first-time birth, but instead wanted to fabricate their results in spite of their findings. Thus, when someone says the Danish study says there's no mental health tied to abortion, they are lying because this report is not based on the true facts. Let us always tell the truth. You see, friend, the only way to end this psychopathic lying about abortion is for us to tell the truth. Only the light of truth will shine brighter than a lie. Now, until we meet again, this is your friend, your advocate, Ken Freeman, saying keep up the good work you're doing. You are making a difference, and the other side just can't stand it. Now, thanks for listening, and I can't wait to meet you again next Monday.